In a universe filled with metahumans, alien powerhouses, and supernatural beings, Wonder Woman stands out as one of the strongest heroes in the DC universe. Diana's godlike powers are comparable to beings such as Shazam and Superman, and her combat skill is so great that Batman himself considers her one of the best fighters on the planet. But what separates the amazing Amazon from most of her comrades is that when the chips are down and all other options have been exhausted, she is willing to kill. And that's what we're here to talk about today, as I'm Josh from WhatCulture.com, and these are the 10 most powerful characters killed by Wonder Woman. Number 10. Huntress. The Injustice series of comics makes for compelling reading, but it doesn't portray most heroes in a flattering light, and Wonder Woman is one such character. While the likes of Batman and Harley Quinn get layers of intriguing and organic characterization, Diana is reduced to a rebound, with an unquenched desire for authoritarian murder. In the third year of Superman's tyrannical reign, the regime and insurgency engage in a sprawling fight, and Diana takes on Batwoman and the Huntress. Usually, the two street-level heroes would be no match for the Amazon, but they were amped up by a Kryptonian nanotech-based pill, giving them incredible physical attributes on par with Kal-El and Diana. During the fight, Helena calls her former teammates tyrants, and this angered Diana, who in turn wrapped her lasso around Helena's neck and swiftly snapped it, killing her in the process. This kill is especially noteworthy, as it was not intentional, as evidenced by Diana's shocked reaction. It highlighted just how much rage and darkness had consumed Wonder Woman, and her allies' better judgment. Number 9. Von Bach. The seminal Kingdom Come arc by Mark Waid and Alex Ross showcases an alternate future where DC mainstays are replaced by more violent and bloodthirsty heroes, and focuses on the subsequent clash between the old guard and their youthful counterparts. Having come out of retirement alongside Superman, Wonder Woman helped the former establish a new Justice League, in order to combat the new ilk of vicious villains that emerged during their time away from the Cape. One such individual was Von Bach, a Yugoslavian dictator with strength and endurance rivaling that of Diana's. Taken to a metahuman rehabilitation center called the Gulag, the superpowered autocrat instigated a battle between the center's wardens and the prisoners by killing Captain Comet, its main warden. During the ensuing chaos, Von Bach met his end at Wonder Woman's spear after he tried to kill Zatanna's son, Zatara. Although he was not a major player in the story, his death was satisfying due to how despicable he was as a character. Number 8. Maxwell Lord. Arguably one of Diana's most notorious moments in comics, the killing of Maxwell Lord further alienated her from Batman and Superman, and fractured the heroes enough to leave them unprepared for the then approaching Infinite Crisis. While Lord is no physical powerhouse, his mind-controlling abilities made him immensely dangerous, especially after taking control of the Man of Steel himself, with the intent of wiping out Earth's superhuman populace. Max sets his eyes on Wonder Woman, and was able to convince Superman that the Amazon is Doomsday, and has just killed Lois Lane. Diana puts up a valiant fight against her enthralled teammate, but Clark's rage is overwhelming, and the heroine takes damage as a result. Fortunately, she restrains the last son of Krypton by exploiting his superhuman senses, and uses her lasso to get Lord to reveal that the mind control can only stop after his death. While shocking, Diana's fatal act saved countless lives from imminent doom, and prevented Clark from having so much blood on his hands. Number 7. Triton. As we will see throughout this list, the Greek pantheon in the DC universe is just as dysfunctional as its real-life mythological counterpart, and Diana's ties to it means that she has had her fair share of complicated tangles with these godly beings. One such encounter was with Triton, the son of the god of the seas, Poseidon. Usually an Aquaman villain, the deity shared his father's incredible abilities but lacked his mercy, and was far crueler as a result. This proved to be his undoing after he orchestrated, along with Black Manta's help, the kidnapping and killing of the Wonder Scouts, children who sought refuge on Themyscira. Arthur was able to stop Diana from killing Manta, but could not restrain the enraged heroine from snapping Triton's neck once his role in the heinous act was revealed. After the oceanic deity was murdered, his father chastised the Amazon for her decision, but forgave her due to the despicable nature of Triton's actions. Number 6. Mera. Flashpoint is about as sprawling and mind-boggling as alternate reality stories get, and its depiction of a world at superhuman instigated war due to Barry Allen's actions is compelling, and sets the stage for the New 52. In this new timeline, Wonder Woman is not a graceful warrior and diplomat, but is instead the ruthless queen of Themyscira, and is at war with Aquaman and Atlantis. Before this, the two nations were in the process of forming an alliance, after the Themyscirans aided the Atlanteans against an unknown threat. Not long after, Diana and Arthur began a secret affair that Mera quickly got wind of and vowed to retaliate. The two monarchs clashed and Diana swiftly overcame her hydrokinetic opponent and killed her. To add insult to injury, the Amazonian demigoddess sent Mera's decapitated head to Arthur as a declaration of war. This gesture eventually led to a mythical clash between the two hidden civilizations that would ravage the world before Barry once again reset the timeline and erased these apocalyptic events. Number 5. Damas. Following the continuity-altering Crisis on Infinite Earths, Wonder Woman's story was revamped in order to tie her closer to her Pantheon roots. This was seen in one of her earliest conflicts with Ares, in a Len Wein and George Perez penned storyline that saw the God of War taking over Washington with the intent of causing a nuclear holocaust. Diana and her allies confront Damas and Phobos in the American capital, and are immediately overwhelmed by their fear and hair-based abilities. Damas employed his tendril-based beard to ensnare the heroine and prevent her from confronting his father. This worked for a little bit before Wonder Woman finished him off with a precise toss of her tiara. This act played a key role in saving the world from annihilation, but also took a lot out of Diana, as Amazons in this era of DC lore were not predisposed to committing senseless violence. This is what separated this comic run from the animated movie it inspired 2 decades later, where the Amazon was more inclined to employing lethal force where needed. Number 4. Medusa. From one mythological being suffering from a bad hair day to another. Medusa considered Wonder Woman one of her greatest foes in the modern era, due to her ties to Athena, a goddess who betrayed Medusa and sent her on the path that would see her transform into her monstrous Gorgon form. Over the years, the two powerhouses engaged in fierce battles that would see Diana's allies severely affected by the vengeful Medusa. These bouts culminated in a final clash orchestrated by the gods themselves, with Medusa not only fighting to kill Diana, but also turn millions to stone as the fight was to be televised. Diana fares well in the beginning, despite fighting while blindfolded, but Medusa eventually gains the upper hand and forces her opponent to look upon her petrifying gaze. In the heat of the moment, the Amazon grabs one of Medusa's severed strands of snake hair and uses it to blind herself, ensuring that she would be protected from the gaze, and proceeded to decapitate her foe. It's one of Wonder Woman's most inventive kills, and highlights her quick thinking and resilience in the heat of battle. Number 3. Ares, aka War. The God of War's demise in the 2017 film was not the first time Diana was forced to kill her warmongering kin. The New 52 revamped the warring duo's dynamic and gave them a mentor-protege style relationship, despite their differing moral codes and personalities. Going by the name War in this continuity, the Grecian god trained his younger sister in the way of combat, but abandoned her when he realised that Diana was willing to show mercy to her opponents, despite her vast potential for violence. Their relationship is further complicated by the introduction of the Firstborn, one of Zeus's children, who lacked the restraint normally employed by his siblings. After several encounters, Diana and War faced their unpredictable sibling after he attempted to kill some of Diana's allies, but the situation headed south rather quickly, and its potential outcome forced the Amazon to murder her brother. It turns out that this was part of War's gambit, as he intended for Diana to take his mantle as the new God of War. Number 2. Firstborn. As mentioned earlier, the New 52 saw the introduction of Firstborn. Zeus and Hera's actual first child, the deviant deity was prophesied to rule over Olympus and build his reign on untold death and destruction. Upon hearing this, the God King ordered the baby's death, but Hera saved his life, a decision that would come back to haunt Olympus as well as Wonder Woman and the Amazons. He would later cross paths with the superheroine after Poseidon told him that she was the key to his plans of usurping the throne and the death of the gods. However, his vicious nature and total disregard for Diana's loved ones inevitably put the half-siblings at odds, and his godly power cemented his role as one of her most dangerous antagonists. After his deicidal murder spree was halted by Wonder Woman, Firstborn attempted to complete his goal one last time, by killing the former as well as Hippolyta, who was ill at the time. However, Diana did not hesitate to put him down for good, after he revealed that he also planned to conquer Themyscira after wiping out Olympus. Number 1. Superman. The Man of Steel is actually one of Wonder Woman's closest allies and friends, but this has not stopped them from coming to blows on several occasions. While Kal-El might have the slight physical edge and more versatile power set, Diana's own might and superior skill have enabled her to more than hold her own. This dynamic was taken to its logical extreme in Wonder Woman Dead Earth, a 4-part miniseries that chronicles a Diana who is forced to protect what remains of the planet after a cataclysm of her own doing. Following a devastating nuclear war between humanity and the Amazons, a vengeful and grief-stricken Diana is out for blood after learning that Superman redirected a missile intended for Smallville towards the Amazons' home island. She viciously attacks the hero, and the fight wrecks what is left of the planet. Due to Superman's unwillingness to fight, some kryptonite shards, and Diana removing her gauntlets, therefore giving her access to her full power, the demigoddess absolutely demolishes the Boy Scout before ultimately killing him. This brutal bout and its aftermath are a terrifying reminder of what Diana is truly capable of, and easily cement her as one of the Justice League's most powerful members. So there we have it, friends and foes, the 10 most powerful characters killed by Wonder Woman. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know down in the comments below if you did. Don't forget you can follow me on Twitter @PanelsToPixels, subscribe to What Culture Comics, and we'll see you next time.